Hello and welcome to another episode of MMA Vision Analysis. This one we're talking Bo Nickal. Specifically, how would Bo Nickal do against a guy like Khamzat Chimaev? Before getting started, make sure to like, subscribe, and click that notification to get all it is that is new from this channel, your channel, the one and only MMA Vision Analysis. Bo Nickal was dissatisfied with the commentary of UFC 309. I believe it was Daniel Cormier's comments. And I believe the latter said something to the extent of Bo Nickal is not quite ready for the top of that middleweight division. I do understand that the name of Khamzat Chimaev was thrown around a couple times in these, let's say, quote-unquote, comments. Trying to get straight to the point here, how would Bo Nickal do against a guy like Khamzat Chimaev? I believe when Daniel Cormier makes these comments, he has no dog in this fight, sort of say. So he doesn't really... He just kind of calling it how it is. I mean, Cormier has to be one of the sweetest people in the UFC. I mean, and his role as a commentator is, even like when guys that he likes fight, he tries not to be leaning towards one side over the other. Even when guys that he really likes, or guys from his hometown like Dustin Poirier, or one of his good friends like Max Holloway, even when these guys fight, he always tries to be as fair as possible when he's commentating, And I do understand that sometimes fighters get provoked, especially when you're a fighter and you're, you hear somebody telling you that you're not ready to step up in competition. I mean, you're, raging with testosterone and you think that you're the baddest man on the planet. I would expect every fighter to think of themselves as the best fighter on the planet. Otherwise, you shouldn't be fighting, in all honesty. And obviously, that's the case with Bo Nickal. So it's borderline offensive if you're a Bo Nickal to hear a Daniel Cormier say that you're not ready to step up in weight. I believe he misunderstood Daniel Cormier. It's not to offend Bo, but it's to look out for the guy. It's to look out for the guy. These guys, they need to take a book out of Floyd Mayweather's book a page out of Floyd Mayweather's book and be more strategic in picking opponents. I mean, if you're a Bo Nickal, with no disrespect to Bo here, but when you're talking Khamzat Chimaev, we're talking potentially the next middleweight champion, or obviously, Dricus has Strickland to deal with, but at some point in the future, I really think that Chimaev is perhaps bound to capture that title. And when this guy gets the title, that's when I think everyone, including Bo Nickal, is going to truly give the guy his proper respect, because we're talking about a guy that just destroyed Robert Whittaker's jaw. Finished Whittaker in one round. Even Adesanya didn't do that. And Izzy made Whittaker look like he was outclassed. But the way that Khamzat made Whittaker look outclassed, it was just, it was unbelievable. And this is the former middleweight champion here. If you're a Bo Nickal, I think, I made a video talking about Khamzat Chimaev and his ability to do the same to anybody in that middleweight division, including the top two guys. And we're talking about top two, Dricus and Strickland. I believe that he takes them down and chokes them out as well. And the same could be done to Bo Nickal. Now, when Khamzat Chimaev is not as focused and he decides to exchange with guys, that's when you see a Gilbert Burns performance. You see? But if he decides to wrestle, that style of wrestling is extremely difficult to deal with. That's been proven time and time again. And Bo Nickal is no exception. If you're Bo Nickal, calm down, relax. One step at a time. You'll get to it. Careful what you wish for. It's going to come to you. But just look out for your longevity. I mean, have some good wins. If you're a top fighter, you don't care who they put in front of you, whether the guy's number 1 or 15. They're all fighters, and it's all tough fights. There's no easy fights, So climb your way up to the top, and don't be in such a hurry to face a guy like Khamzat Chimaev. Because if you're a Bo Nickal, you face a Khamzat like Chimaev now, this guy's gonna take all the steam out of your career, and basically not going to give you the proper opportunity to build your brand properly in order for, obviously Bo Nickal to become more stable in the middleweight as a top name in the middleweight division before he takes on the big names. So, with no disrespect to Bo here, but in many ways, I think Daniel Cormier is actually looking out for the guy. If you made it this far, appreciate you for sticking around. Please let me know what you think in the comments and like, subscribe for more.